and then make sure that Twitch is receiving. It appears to be.
Ignis hears you.
Okay, well... He's... Oh my god. Holy shit. 20 con? I mean, you're no slouch either, dude, but like... Then again, I suppose you'd have to be super beefcake to actually withstand the kind of shit that you just went through. Yeah, the wisdom and charisma, those totally make sense. You know, for somebody who's been on fire. Okay, I would like to ask Fall from Grace about our new friend.
Yes?
Ignis. You would be wise to travel with him no longer. He is insane, and he has proven capable of great acts of destruction. As I understand it, he was transformed into a conduit of the elemental plane of fire. Such transformation would have killed many mortals. Not only did he survive such a trial, but he thrived. He possesses tremendous power. Should he be forced into a confrontation, I would fear for the chances of anyone who stood against him. I pray it does not come to that. If Ignis is so powerful, why doesn't he just attack everything he sees? Why does he even travel with us? Yeah, I don't know, but I do not think it is because he likes our company. In fact, I think he considers all of us irrelevant, except for you. Why me? Again, I do not know. Still, haven't you noticed that when you ask him to do something, he obeys, without question? Were I to make the same request, the last thing I would receive would be his compliance. Alright, Ignis. Talk to me, buddy. Oh my god, I forgot to open up chat. Because I'm bad. Pop out chat. Thank you. Okay. Flames curl around Ignis's throat, and tongue of flame streams from behind his blackened teeth. Yes. Ignis, what happened to you to make you this way? This way? A small pocket of flesh on Ignis's cheek pops and runs in a streaming trickle down his jaw. This way Ignis always was. But you look human, or at least you look like you were human once. Ignis twists, hunching his head forward as his body spins slowly above the ground. The effect is much like a fiery whirlwind, thermal streaming off his body and distorting the air around him. Still, Ignis always Ignis. I had some other questions. As you open your mouth to speak, Ignis suddenly whirls on you. You are forced to choke back your words as the heat from his frame floods over you. Ignis might you be, sparks in bodies always seeking to rise. What? All things burn inside. Ignis's head cranes back and throws his arms wide, spirals of flame and heat traveling up his arms. Only need to be kindled with flames to become Ignis. So might you have been Ignis. Are you just a fire elemental inhabiting a formerly humanoid body? Actually, if you end up trying to kindle the flames within people, you usually end up killing them. So you're saying everyone has the potential to become like you with the right spark? I think we're going to go with the first one. Yes, Ignis grins, cocking his head to one side, ashes falling from his skull and being swept up in the flaming wreath around that surrounds him. I have some other questions for you, dude. Hiss! Your heart jumps as Ignis soars several feet into the air, and his jaw tears open, fiery trails spilling forth like a nest of snakes. No more talking questions. Silence! But I wish to speak of flames, Ignis, and of burning. You will answer my questions, Ignis. I set you free, and I may send you back to your hell again. Oh! Your words are like oil, and you watch them fill Ignis's eyes, fanning the flames you see there. Flames. Ignis drifts down slightly, the heat around him rising, as if in interest. Speak. Ignis will listen. Ignis, what... let's see. Can you teach me? I don't know. Was that a bad idea? What were you doing in the Smoldering Corpse bar? For a moment, you don't think Ignis has heard you, when suddenly the fires in his eyes dim slightly and he gives a soft hiss, cinders and ash dancing at the edges of his jaw. Ignis once knew nothing of flames. Yes. Once Ignis knew nothing of flames. He set small fires, tiny flames, tiny flickerings, small bits of flame. Ignis hisses again, ashes and fiery motes drifting from the ruin of his mouth. The fires grew. Ignis set fires in their streets and lit the fires of anger in their hearts. You speak, but Ignis doesn't seem to hear you. Sorry, it's getting a little warm in here. He seems to become, although I suppose that's kind of appropriate with Ignis, he seems to be somewhere else, as if reliving a memory through his words. Against your will, you stop and listen. They sought to punish Ignis, the small flies of the hive. They wished to see Ignis burn. After Ignis set fire to their streets, tiny, meaningless hedge wizards, runecasters, tiny sparks of magic, came to punish Ignis for hurting their beloved ones. They sentenced Ignis to burn, made Ignis a torch, a spitting flame, burning, burning. It was justice, they said. Justice. You watch mesmerized as Ignis begins slowly turning again, as he did above the grill in the smoldering corpse. But it was not a sentence. There is so much flames and pain that there is no pain. There is light and heat, and the flesh runs as tallow across my bones, and for the first time Ignis is pleased. Ignis stops his rotation and his gaze falls upon you. As it does, the fires in his eyes flare and the charred grin splits his features, the flesh crackling and bubbling as it melts and streams across his face. Ignis wears the face of all hells of flames, and his next words are spoken like a death sentence, not only for you, but for everyone everywhere. When the plains burn and all life is torches, then Ignis shall at last be at peace. I wish to see more flames and burning. Can you teach me things? Ignis once knew much. No longer. Ignis burns. In suffering, Ignis learns. A tiny flame gusts from his mouth like laughter, and a stream of embers spits forth. Suffer. Learn. I am willing to suffer for such knowledge. I am not willing to suffer for such knowledge. Oh boy. Hey Anna, what do you think about Ignis? Are you alright? Anna just glares at you. I wanted to ask you some questions. Why don't you ask the Stuckupubus your questions then? Anna's eyes narrow to slits. Why are we even traveling with her? We don't need her. We don't. I don't have time for this, Anna. Stop being a banshee and lend a hand. No. Yes, you're very important to me and I need your help. Oh, and why is that then? This should be rich, it should. You pity me, is that it? You think I slow you down? Go on, say it. I don't pity you, and you don't slow me down. You're quick, you're skilled, and I really need all the help I can get. Anna frowns, her tail flickering back and forth. Well, no, I'll gut her if she starts sizing us up for a feast, I will. She glares at you. And don't get any ideas I'm staying because you want me to. I'm just helping you out, I am. Alrighty. I think I've already asked her this. Mention the name. Anna spits 3 times and makes a semicircle over her heart. Are you okay, yeah. Alright, forget that. Forget I asked. Let's move on. I should... Wait, can't I tell you about the thing that I said to Fall from Grace? strange. I totally thought that she would...
what's eating you, Chief?
that I could say something else to her, but... Let me ask Dakon.
What is your will?
There are things I would know, dude. Okay, well... I guess we're out of here. We're gonna check our journal and see what quests we gotta do. Did I get these? Oh, Dollara. Right.
Done.
Well, a friend of mine did say I should try to play with the... Where the hell is it? This thing some more. Move the arms and make sword fighting noises. Wave its arms and make cheering noises. Sign put the cube away for future battles against the multiverse. Put the cube away. Alright. Well, I guess just... I don't know what the cube does, dude. It was the clerk's ward. And this is the brothel? Yes.
Done.
Alright, Dollara, where are you? You're the one in the middle, right? Yes. Dollara's eyes flash as she sees you. Did you find him? Has he agreed to return the keys to my heart? Not yet for... Wait a minute, what? Oh, right. Oh, you know what? We also have to deliver that potion that we could split somebody in half. I think I have an idea of where...
I'm gone.
Let's see. Art Curio and Galleria. This is not it. What is this? This painting shows what looks to be an infinitely long stream of bilious green gas, stretching off into darkness. The horizon of a blasted rocky plain can be seen in the lower right-hand corner of the painting. One is given the impression that the head of the green cloud is rearing to strike down upon it. A placard reads, Hazazoth at the consumption of Nagar. Who are you? Yavanna. Before you is a well-dressed elderly woman in a gown of peach-colored and golden thread. Okay. She stands quietly, her hands folded together primly, and nods in your direction. It is then that you notice that she has no pupils. Her eyes are entirely white. Greetings, sir. I'm Yavanna. Welcome to my Galleria. Feel free to look about, spending as much time here as you like. Should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. I would like to ask you something. One moment, sir, your voice. It is heavy with age and wounds. Would you be so kind as to permit me to touch your face? Sure, go ahead. Yavanna smiles, gently running her old hands over the skin of your face. She frowns, looking slightly puzzled. So many scars, both old and new. They seem to... She touches the side of your throat, flushes, then pulls away. Pardon me, sir, I was curious to see how far they went. It's fine, they're everywhere. My whole body is scarred. Yavanna nods. Now the questions, please. Ooh. You look familiar to me. Do you know someone named Yves? That is my daughter. For a moment there was a hint of sadness in the milky whiteness of her eyes. We no longer speak to one another, and why is that? There is nothing to be said between us. She has gone off in pursuit of stories, all for reasons I am unaware of. She told me a tale that might answer that question. Yavanna raises her eyebrows. Oh? Tell me, would you please? I'd most appreciate it, sir. Tell her Tale Chaser's story, and of her endless quest for the tale that holds the truth she seeks. Yavanna nods slowly. I had no idea. I will see her now. Thank you, good sir, for bringing me this news of my only daughter. As she speaks, color slowly bleeds into her pale irises until her eyes are a brilliant shade of green. Can you see? She nods, smiling. Oh boy. What about this cube? Ivana takes the item and drags her fingers along it. She feels along the exterior of the object, then hands it back to you. It's more than just a well-crafted toy Modron. That's for certain. It may be some sort of puzzle box or portal key. What is this place? Why, it's my Galleria of the Plains. She smiles and gestures around her. These pieces have been brought from far and wide. Some I sell, some I keep. All I display at one time or another. Please enjoy them. And again, should you have questions regarding any of the pieces, do not hesitate to ask me of them. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. Painting of a tall black cliffs against a blood-red sky. There looks to be figures hiding amongst the crags of the cliffs, but whenever you squint at the painting to try to make them out, the images fade into nothing. A placard reads, Outland Raiders. Please. Guys, get out of the way.
All right.
Massive horn of beaten lead, wound with brazen chains. The horn is horribly mangled, as if some tremendous force had crushed it. Jagged blades protrude along its length, almost as if it were meant to be used as a club by some gigantic creature, as well as a battle horn. A placard mounted beneath the horn reads, Cleansing Horn of Acheron. Put your head against the wall, try to blow the horn. Why not? Try as you might, you can get no sound to issue from the massive horn. Your lips come away from the mouthpiece tasting of blood, smoke, and metal. That's not a big surprise, considering what it is. What is this? An animated, bloody iron chain, coiling and uncoiling upon itself. The chain itself seems to bend and weave like the spine of a snake. A small placard reads, A chitin's animate chain from Jangling Hitter. A chitin is a chain devil. Touch the chain. The chain is slightly warm to the touch, as if it were alive. You notice that various barbs, tiny hooks, needles, and other small, sharp bits are welded along the chain's length. A brilliant ruby statuette stands on this pedestal, carved into the image of a winged humanoid. The figure is either demonic or angelic in nature, but it is difficult to tell which, because it refracts the light in the Galleria strangely. There is no placard indicating what exactly the statuette is. Statue looks like it is about to make some angry proclamation. The sculptor has captured the essence of fury magnificently. The chiseled tension lines around the neck and forehead alone must have taken many long months to get correct. Fine cracks run over the entire statue, and there is a plaque attached to its base. Read the plaque. The plaque reads, This statue is believed to be the final fate of the Etherzarian sorcerer Go-Gekahedron. I don't know what his actual name is. Attacked by a conclave of rival sorcerers at the height of his dream madness, he was imprisoned with a spell that turned his flesh into stone. Gangroid Hydon? I don't know. Is said to have been frozen with a final awful curse still upon his lips. A curse so terrible that it was never meant to be spoken by the lips of a living man. Examine the statue. Examine the cracks. You carefully examine the cracks that run like a network of fine black veins along the statue's surface. At one point near its inner arm is a section where an entire splinter of stone looks ready to come off. Break the piece off. You reach for the section of the forearm where the cracks have formed, grip it firmly, and yank to no avail. You'll need a hammer to break the stone, and a small one. The limited space between the statue's arm and the body means a large one suitable for combat, for instance, won't work. But I have a small hammer. Don't I? Or did I give that to somebody else? Somebody else have my hammer? Mort? A work hammer. Yes. Let's see if that works.
What's up?
I thought I'd be able to, you know, hit it with that hammer, but I guess not. Alright. I guess I'll have to find a small hammer to do so. This is a portrait of a grotesque, hook-nosed old crone. The hag's flesh is a sickly blue-gray color. Her eyes glow red with the embers of a dying fire. Her chin, long and sharp, juts forward in an extreme underbite. Two yellowed canines protrude upwards from her lower jaw, like small tusks. The smile upon her withered, purplish lips speaks of a horrible secret. A placard reads, "Grey Hag of Oinos." Or Oinos? As you begin to turn away from the painting, something in it draws your attention. A strange, tingling sensation arises in the back of your mind. A memory begins to surface. Try and recall the memory. You recall standing confused in a maze of briars. The hideous crone from the painting is before you, cackling wildly. You grit your teeth in frustration, wondering why she's laughing at you. "My poor dear, lovely man-thing," she croons. Why, that was your first wish." She points a single bony, clawed finger at your forehead. Your temples begin to throb painfully, and you can remember nothing. Why do I have the feeling that that's the hag? Like, that's actually, what's-her-face? This looks to be a subterranean landscape. A massive cavern interior filled with colorful, faintly luminescent, gigantic fungi. Placard reads, "Veil beneath Clangadin." This painting is a dark cityscape, a faraway view of some giant center of civilization being burned to the ground. The streets of the place are empty, however, absent of soldiers, refugees, and even corpses. A placard reads, "The Folly of Udo." And this? The surface of this painting, a wild collage of vivid colors, ripples constantly, as if it were the surface of a pond during a light rain. A placard reads, "Wave Motion Study 7. Touch the painting." You place your palm against the canvas. You cannot feel the ripples themselves, though a cool tingling sensation passes through your hand at the first contact. Man, I have the yawns so bad right now. I think it's because I had, I am very full right now. I had a very big dinner. Several shards of black crystal or ice swirl within the freezing wind that this ornate pedestal gives forth. Each shard looks razor sharp. Hey, Tipper, what's up, dude? What can change the nature of man, indeed? Freezing, ornate pedestal gives forth. Each shard looks razor sharp. Touching or grabbing one could be perilous. A placard at the pedestal reads, "Dark Birds of Acanthus." Touch one. As you reach out to touch one of the whirling shards, your finger enters the icy wind that rises from the pedestal. Instantly, a coat of numbing frost forms around your finger, causing you to momentarily draw back. Place your finger back in. Grab one. As you reach out to grab one of the whirling shards, your fingers enter the icy wind that rises from the pedestal. Instantly, a coat of numbing frost forms around them, causing you to momentarily draw back. Grab it. You thrust your hand into the frigid, numbing wind. Unbeknownst to you, your entire hand freezes solid as you wrap it around one of the dark birds. As another of the black shards spins into your fist, your hand breaks off the wrist with a sharp crack and goes clattering across the gallery floor. Pick up your hand and stick it back on. You pick up the frost-covered fist and thrust it onto your bleeding stump. Noticing the dark bird you grabbed, a razor-sharp shard of black ice, has already melted away to nothing. It looks like you'll have to catch it in something that will keep it cold. Eventually, warmth and feeling returns to your hand as your tissues thaw and regenerate. Oh boy. So how you doing, man? Can I interact with this? Oh, I can interact with all of them, it looks like. Even this one? Maybe. This painting depicts a shore scene with a wide reddish-orange sun setting behind a peninsula or large jetty. The scene, though unoriginal, is breathtaking. The play of the fading daylight across the water is captured perfectly, but staring at the painted sun for any length of time makes your eyes ache. A placard reads, "Surface of Thalasia." Touch the painting. Oddly enough, there is nothing unusual about the surface of this painting. That actually says a lot. Set of 4 paintings which portray an empty beach in the dead of night. The air around the painting smells faintly of brine, and the painted sea seems to ebb and flow across the darkened shore. A placard reads, Carassuthran shoreline. Sniff the painting. Surface of the painting smells roughly of sea air. Touch the painting. Place your hand on the painting, not knowing quite what to expect, but it is merely the texture of painted canvas that you feel beneath your fingertips. Sniff the painting. Smells of sea air. I am in much the same boat, but my tiredness is because I've eaten far too much. This painting, an abstract work of greens and purples, writhes and ripples as it's watched. Closer examination reveals that the actual painted image is changing, rather than the canvas itself. A placard states, "Moment's glance from the walls of Machma." Touch the painting. Place your hand upon the painting. As you had suspected, it is not that the canvas is physically moving, but that the painted image itself is changing. Sensate. First word citizen. Alright, I don't think I need to talk to any of you. What about this? This painting shows an enormous granite keep, a hideous thing, long and low, covered in leering gargoyles, suspended in what looks to be the night sky. A cloud of crimson and violet vapor whirls in the background along the right side of the painting. A placard reads simply, "The library." Oh, I take a drink of water before this one. The hundreds of chips of translucent green glass which make up this stained glass window don't appear to be held together by anything, but rather remain free-floating in the mysteriously suspended within the iron frame's boundaries. The shards ripple and move in slow waves, causing bizarre patterns to fluctuate across the window's surface, as various portions of it reflect the Galleria's light in different directions. A small placard beside the window reads, "Arcadian stained glass window." Nope, I wanted the... Okay. Touch the glass. You reach out and touch the undulating glass shards, but find you cannot do so. Your hand stops just short of the surface of the glass. Punch the glass? You succeed only in bruising your knuckles. The glass may as well be sheet iron. Well, that was very foolish. You shouldn't go around punching glass, I guess, is the moral of the story. Vanna smiles and motions you towards her. "Greetings again. Do you have questions regarding one of the pieces?" "Yes, I do. Which one?" "The ruby statuette." "That piece was found in a cathedral in the fertile fields of Elysium, on the first layer, Amoria the Untroubled, where it bordered the river Oceanus. The name of the piece is not known, but the skill and craftsmanship are believed to be one of the most striking examples of gem crafting in the plains. The mere way in which the piece captures, distills, and enhances the light through its facets is part of its breathtaking wonder. It seems to bring to light the possible ideological connection between even the most evil and the purest beings in the multiverse. Fascinating." Dark birds.
My journal.
Oh? All of them are chipped from the great magical sheet of black infinite ice that rests in the black belly of the plain of Acanthus. Ivana pauses, tapping her chin. It is said that this sheet of ice is the final destination of the river Styx, and that the recollections of all that have plunged into the Styx's memory-destroying waters still lie frozen within the ice. If the waters of the Styx destroy one's memories, would this ice from Acanthus do the same? I could only assume so, yes. One of the paintings. Grey Hag. This is said to be a portrait of Ravel Puzzlewell. Very likely the most evil hag ever to have terrorized the Grey Waste and beyond. What do you know about her? She is a night hag, one of the eldest Grey Sisters of the Wastes, who came to Sigil many centuries ago to pursue arcane experiments. It was believed that these experiments were against the lady's will, and that Ravel was thus banished from Sigil, imprisoned within one of the lady's mazes on the Ethereal, where her body rests to this very day. Go on. Ravel was said to have been a master of riddles and puzzles, but it was believed that one riddle, one question in particular, was said to plague the ancient night hag. What can change the nature of a man? She issued a challenge to any who were interested. She promised to instruct any who came to her in her craft, if they could only answer the question of her to her satisfaction. If they could not, they consented to be her next meal. Many died coveting Ravel's teachings, and it is believed that until her final hours in Sigil, Ravel never discovered the answer to her question. Ravel's crime was believed to be some means of trying to shatter the cage, trying to crack open Sigil itself for some unknown reason. Ivana sighs. This is all I know of her. Stained glass. Wait a minute. Stained glass window found hovering on the third layer of Arcadia 32 years ago, foretelling a scene that had yet to occur. When the event came to pass, the images faded to leave what you saw behind. It is believed to have captured both the light and the darkness from the orb of night and day on Arcadia, then slowly released it, creating a brief but slow fade of dawning and dusk, but only within the glass itself. Orb of night and day, Arcadia? Arcadia is the plane of peaceful order, also known as the land of perfect good. The orb of night and day is a sphere set in the top of Arcadia's highest peak. Each half emits either light or darkness. The turning of the orb gives Arcadia its day and night. Alright, I don't think there's really going to be anything else for us here. So, it seems to me that those shards of glass are what we need to... wait, wasn't I going to bring something to a linguist? No. God damn it. Come on. No, come on. I got a potion thingy that supposedly does the splitting. Wait, where the hell was that shop? Ah, the curiosity shop. Maybe this lady has something that can help us? Maybe something that can allow us to get the cold stuff? I don't know.
Done.
Yes, I am here to buy something. Exotic items. Monster jug. Examine the plain-looking jug. Despite its common appearance, you feel reluctant to touch the thing, as if it might bite you. Vershinka watches you, chuckling, then shrugs. It's a jug. It's got some sort of monster trapped in it. That's why your hair is prickling up like that. If you'd like it, it's only 123 copper pieces. Ooh, excuse me. Front of the store. Back of the store. Rune-covered ale stein. That sounds like it might be able to hold something cold. Examine a large pewter ale stein covered in strange runes. Rashinker holds it up for you to see more closely. An ale mug of unusual manufacture, which keeps its contents, usually beer, of course, icy cold, whatever the surrounding temperature, 299 copper commons, and you'll enjoy the frostiest ale you've ever had outside the paraplane of ice. I will buy it. Yevra. You examine a ring in a small padded case. Vershinka holds it up so that you can see it more closely. This is Yevra's ring of almost invisibility. Oh, right, I remember this thing. No thanks, lady. I will see you later.
All right.
And, this is the one we want.
Done.
Tiano, get in there, dude.
All right.
Catch one with your Frostale mug. You dip the mug into the icy wind rising from the pedestal, catching a small shard with a slight clang. Peering into the mug, you can see that the dark bird is a razor-sharp sliver of black ice. Only the mug's magical properties prevent the shard from melting away to nothing. This is gonna hurt real bad when he swallows this thing.
All right.
But you know what? Wait, did we go to the apothecary? There he is. I got this elixir of horrific separation. Do you think that'd help you? Both his eyes suddenly snap to the small bottle in your hands. He nods, smacking his lips. There you are, then. Pestle Kiln takes the bottle in both his hands and places it beneath the counter. His left eye focuses on you, while his right eye and hand concentrate on scribbling furiously on the countertop. We can use this to make something that'll fix us. Herc, right on up. Now, if you'll give us a moment, when we got it all worked, get out. We'll mix you some healing stuffs for a reward. He turns to head to the back of the shop. Farewell for now.
I'm gone.
There's only one of you. This man's face closely resembles Pestle Kiln's, though without the crawling skin and constant subtle mutations. Greetings again. The name's Kiln. Need you something? Was hoping to get some healing concoctions. Did you talk to Pestle, eh? Did you talk to Pestle yet? He's the one that'll handle it for you. I'll go speak with him then. Farewell. Where? Is Pestle? Oh my god, he's out front. This man closely resembles Pestle Kiln, though without the crawling skin and constant subtle mutations. Greetings again, sir, and well met. And what is it that I, Pestle, can do for you? I was going to get some healing concoctions, dude. Yes, of course, your reward, eh? Let's see now. I'll manufacture them for you for nothing, of course, but I'll need the proper ingredients. An Oni's heart or powdered hematite, or the hair of a diva, or a thread of an Azamon's robe, or the blood of a regenerating creature such as a troll, or actually my wounds heal very quickly. Pestle raises an eyebrow. Do they now? Well then, your own blood should your own blood might just do. Here, give me a sample, if you would. Give me a bit of your blood. After drawing a small quantity of your blood and retreating to the back of the store, Pestle returns with a number of what appear to be hardened drops of blood. Placed upon one's tongue, these clot charms will heal existing wounds and aid in the prevention of new ones for a time. My apologies, sir, but I only speak for the store. Besides, I rarely leave the place. You see, you'd be better off finding another to answer your questions. All right. Well, see you later, dude. I mean, I'm glad we could help you split yourself. Weird as that is. Brothels, right there.
Done.
No, we need to go into the sensei place, though. So what was it? Merriman. I want to say Merriman was out this way. Wasn't he, like, roaming the halls or something? There he is. Merriman squints up at you. Well, have you something that will wipe my mind of these accursed memories? I certainly hope you haven't returned without. You'll never get the keys to Delara's heart that way. Here, take this mug. It holds a dark bird of acanthus. A sliver of ice from the river Styx. It should wipe your memories clean. Merriman takes the mug and removes a piece of paper from his pocket. He tilts the mug back and takes the ice into his mouth. It melts instantly, leaving him with a somewhat startled expression. Merriman?
Updated my journal.
Merriman looks at you, confused, and then at the paper in his hands. He reads aloud, Congratulations, Merriman, you've begun again. Thank the man in front of you and give him the key in your pocket. Speak to Splinter, the man at the door to this building, for more information. He looks to you again. Well, it would seem I owe my thanks to you, good sir. Or owe you my thanks, good sir. Here, take this key. I'd best find this Splinter fellow and find out what's going on. Thanks, Merriman. Good luck. Sweet. And is the audio balance okay? Yeah, it's fine.
All right.
All right, Dollara. Tell me what's up.
All right.
I got the keys to your stuff. Okay, well, the keys to your... Keys to your heart? Yeah. Yes, I have the keys to your heart. Here they are.
Updated my journal.
30,000. At last, as she takes the keys from your grasp, her hand brushes against yours. Her skin is dry, but icy to the touch, like cold metal. These will be of great use to me, I thank you. Of course, Dollara. Okay, we've already asked about all these. Nobody leveled? I am very surprised. Then again, back in the day, like, you needed a shitload more XP to get anywhere. Holy shit. You're close. You're close. You're close-ish. You still got a ways to go. A lot of us have a lot of ways to go. Hey, Nick, what's up, dude?
I'm gone.
You know what? Let's try on the Undersigil. Wait, what do you have for weapons? I am still worried about Ignis. But
All right.
I am very worried.
Why not?
Wait. Aren't the... Okay. Larvae are the souls of people that the hags trade in for knowledge.
Why not?
You know what, Mort? Please taunt these scumbags. Okay, you hit very hard, you weird bug. I'm sorry, did you just say disease?
Stupid yabo.
Holy shit.
Huh?
Playtime is over. This is what I get for getting into sleep.
Okay. How about... Let's see. Is this where we were? Yeah, I think so. Oh, nice, dude.
Done.
Wreck this motherfucker. And Mort,
What's up?
taunt him.
Slatter.
Try it again.
You blathering idiot.
A lot of practice, it seems. A lot of practice, it seems.
I'm hurt.
Excuse me?
And again, death attempts to claim you.
Whoa!
Again, you arise.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. You're blue. You should not be functional right now.
The clock sings true.
Mort,
What's up,
taunt this creature.
you poxy bastard?
Also, I'm pretty sure you should not be, this powerful? Or large. I seem to recall you guys being much smaller.
Folly. Precious folly. The clock sings true.
At least in the older edition books, anyway. You know, hit him with another chromatic orb, dude.
The clock sings true.
Huh?
Done.
Yeah. Fight that.
Holy Christ.
Looks like my skills have increased.
A lot of practice, it
The
seems.
clock sings true.
What?
Yo, Mort, give this man the taunt.
But a perfectly good waste of
A
armor
lot of
flares.
practice, it seems.
Oh, God. Well, then maybe I'll have to leave this place alone. I don't know. Well, okay, at least I got that back.
What's up, Chief?
A dangerous place, you say. +1 fist. Fighting skills have improved. Okay. Cool.
All right.
I saw something going up this way. I don't know what it was, though. Oh, I don't know what that is. It looks like a freaking Tyrannid, dude. It's called a Trellon? I don't know, dude. That thing's a Tyrannid. You know what? Fuck this place. I thought this was going to be the next place that we had to go. I think I am wrong. There's freaking, like, larvas and demons and shit.
Right.
Alright, what is the next thing I gotta do in my journal? Find Ravel Puzzle Well, I guess, is the next thing. Oh, we should go talk to Reekwind. Shit, where the hell was he? Was he here?
Done.
Reekwind, there he is. You see Reekwind, his eyes have reverted to their normal size, and he is no longer assailed by the twitching spasms that you noted before. He's smiling, and he looks considerably cleaner than before. Greetings, Reekwind. I have some questions for you. He looks at you amazed. It stopped. It all stopped, just like that. He snaps his fingers, then looks down at himself. Powers above, he laughs. I feel clean again. Good to hear it. Jumble didn't want to remove the curse, but I got it out of him. I thank you, sir. He looks flustered. I have nothing to pay you with, but you are in my good graces, he shrugs. For whatever that is worth. He frowns, then stands straight. I will tell the story of your kindness to all who will listen. Actually, do you have any stories you haven't told me already? That could be payment enough. Of course, Reekwind looks around. Though I've had enough of telling tales for a while, do you have something I could write them in? I have a journal here.
Updated my journal.
Reekwind takes the journal. He scribbles for a while, then hands it back to you. There you are. Thanks, Reekwind. And if you would never use that name again, I, among others, would be thankful. Very well, what should I call you? My name is... He suddenly catches himself and smiles. No, perhaps I shall keep it to myself. He nods respectfully to you. Thank you again, good sir. Very well. You wrote in my journal, huh? Oh, that's right. In exchange for helping him shed his curse, Reekwind put all the stories he knew in my journal. The first of the stories was a tale of the Alley of Dangerous Angles, the alleyway near where he set up Kip. It used to be a street, but a great fire raged through it one night, setting the buildings and people aflame, leaving just the skeletal flames of the houses and their residents, frames, not flames. The broken timbers of the old burnt buildings are what gave the alley its name. Apparently several groups of thugs have now taken up residence there. The second tale was a story of Ignis, the mad sorcerer who was responsible for creating the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Ignis was a powerful sorcerer who had been taught by one of the last of the great magi, and he burned with the art, so much so it drove him to burning people in buildings when the urge struck him. Oh, Jesus. One night he unleashed his power on one of the streets in the hive, burning it down and torching the residents. Whether out of revenge or justice, several minor mages in the hive banded together and used their combined knowledge of the art to turn Ignis's body into a conduit to the elemental plane of fire. They hoped the pain would kill him. It didn't. Apparently, it just caused Ignis to enter a deep sleep. Oh, God. The third and last tale is the story of Farad, apparently. Apparently, Farad was once a member of the aristocracy in Sigil, but he used his position to bend laws, cheat others, and even condemn innocent men. His acts were so deceitful that it damned his soul to the lower planes when he died. When he learned of this, he became afraid and looked for a way to dodge his fate. Apparently he consulted several seers, and was told that he would find a means of saving himself in the trash of Sigil. Farad cast off his position of respect and became a king of rags, sending his gang of collectors to scour the Sigil streets in search of something that would set his soul free, but he knows not what it is. Oh boy. So there was also, like, we were able to ask the Medusa lady about turning a Lim into stone, and I don't know why. I forget, is this where the advocate was? Yes. I forget what it is that, or why we were going to come back here, but I am glad you mentioned it, Teal'c, because my memory is garbage and I totally forgot.
I'm gone.
Yo. You see Ionis. He turns as you enter and affixes you with a tired gaze. There are dark sacs beneath his eyes, and he looks as if he has not been sleeping. Greetings, Ionis. You again? Ionis frowns slightly as he stares at you. What did you want this time? I have some questions for you. Can you tell me about the fire? There's nothing much to say about the matter. It was a strange localized fire. I cannot imagine what would have been precious in the documents that were burned, but someone must have wanted them destroyed. I may have been responsible for the fire. What do you mean? I may have done it at some point in the past when I was not in my right mind. I regret my actions and ask your forgiveness. But Giannis looks almost at a loss for words. But why? Some of the things that were burned, they were precious only to me. Irreplaceable. It is likely that one of those mementos or documents was threatening this other self of mine. I do not believe I will ever know. Your other self? What are you speaking of? I have a peculiar condition. I lose myself on occasion and become someone else for a time. During that time, my actions are not my own. Giannis frowns. He seems to be thinking the matter over. I have heard of such symptoms of the mind, temporary amnesia and the emergence of another personality. Then there is the fact that you have chosen to claim responsibility for the crime. That is similar to my condition. I came to ask your forgiveness for the crime. Make amends as well. Giannis frowns, and his expression relaxes. There is nothing to forgive. I have come to terms with the loss, and no lasting harm has been done. I do not know why the target was chosen. However, there was nothing of value among the documents burned. What were the documents? Legacies mostly. Some very old ones, legacies. They're contracts that are deliverable at the death of the client. They provide specifics on how a person's possessions are to be divided upon the event of their demise. I have also heard them called wills. Okay, I remember this, with asking about the Dustman thing. Actually, I believe you have a legacy for me? Indeed, very well. Do you remember a legacy, the legacy in question? Legacy number 51AA. He looks at you in surprise as you name the legacy. That is extremely old, are you certain? Shocked look comes across his face. I hope that wasn't one of the ones that was burned. How old is it? Well, Giannis ponders it for a moment. Several decades at least. Can you check and see if the legacy still exists? He nods quickly. Oh yes, of course, it will take a moment. Very well, I'll wait. Giannis returns, nodding. Yes, fortunately, it was unharmed by the fire. All the articles are safe. Could I collect on it? I am the beneficiary. Of course. Sign here and here, on the dotted line. There and there, all right. There we are. That should be the last of the paperwork. Here are all the items that were in the vault. One looks like a foundry receipt, though quite an old one, to be sure. Did the deceased have something commissioned at the foundry? I'm guessing it was that hammer. I don't really know. Perhaps. I'm beginning to think just about anything is possible. Where's the foundry?
My journal.
It is located in Lower Ward. It is past the Great Gate. Look for a number of guardsmen guarding at that gate, and you should be in the right place. What did I get? Receipt. Guardsman receipt. Strange chunk of rock. Stone gullet of Lafal the Gross. Permanent +1 to saves versus poison. Permanent 15% resistance to acid. Weight 3. The gurgling stone gullet of Lafal the Gross is not as well known as most artifacts tend to be. No wars have been waged over it, no betrayals, no epic journeys into the underworld, only a few moralizing sorcerers, a fat man and his stomach. As the legend goes, oh my god, this is very long. Let's see, to use the artifact, one must consume it. It has the consistency of stale bread. So doing will turn the eater's stomach into the stone gullet. Devouring the stone gullet of Flal will grant the user the blessing of stone and rock, and slight resistance to stomach acid. Kaleidoscope gem. Invokes chromatic orb when held. Let's see. Placing the wearer's eye socket, the eye grafts itself to the wearer's skull and helps shield its new owner. It absorbs a portion of the energies from the incoming attacks and provides proof against all manner of magical attacks. Oh boy. I would also recommend talking to Splinter in the feast hall. Now that you're a sensate, you may have access to new areas in the headquarters. Oh, that's a very good point. Diagraphs to the wearer's skull and helps. Okay. How do
Don't
I...
want to part with that.
Okay. Oh. Well. I think I'll take all of the, other stuff.
I'm gone.
Alright, let's go visit the Sensates and talk to Splinter. And then we're going to go to that other place.
I'm gone.
So, I'm kind of glad that so far Ignis hasn't, like, said much of anything. Because it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Cinder guards you coolly as ever as you approach. We welcome you once more to the Civic Fest Hall, traveler. How may we help you? Let's see. Did we already talk to Quell? Oh.
Done.
I guess we hadn't come here before. Description around the base of the sensory stone indicates that it holds the experience week-long hunting trek across the forests of Arborea. Begin the sensation. You're standing in a circle of white tents deep in the woods somewhere. The trees around you are by far the largest you've ever seen. Suddenly, though, there's an odd prickling sensation at the back of your skull. Continue experience. The surroundings melt into a colorless smear, then slowly resolve into what looks like the interior of a large gray sphere. Across from you stands a figure almost identical to yourself. His eyes flash in the half-darkness. A mad smile splits his features. I knew you would come. Greetings, I guess. Oh, greetings, greetings, so good to see you, he sneers. I bid your murderous tongue be silent. That's right, murderous. Your pretend innocence is laughable. Who are you? Oh, don't you know? Didn't all those filthy, lying, thrice-be-damned journals tell you who I am? Those journals that were so convincingly left for me when I awoke? Those journals that called me an incarnation? Ha! Burn them all, I did. All that I found. What did they say exactly? They spoke lies, 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 and nothing more. Filth about a man who forgets himself. Other incarnations of preserving their experiences in writing so later lives could benefit. Thieves! It's my life. Mine. You all want to steal my body, and you won't have it. So you're one of my earlier incarnations, huh? He crosses his arms and looks away. If you'd put stock in such trash, yes. What did those lying journals say? Well, okay, where am I? Oh, this? He gestures around him, snickering. Just a little trap is all. I realize that killing you body thieves might not be enough. I might have to trap you, ensnare you for eternity. You may have realized by now that there's no way out of this sensory stone. Your mind is locked here. You'll note the rather sparse surroundings I've left for you. All to help the madness set in good and quick while your flesh rots away. He chuckles evilly. I have some questions for you. The earlier incarnation crosses his arms and looks away, indignantly. Save for a few more tufts of hair on his head, he's identical to you. Even his arms have most of the tattoos yours do. Did you create the trapdodecahedron? I don't know what you're babbling on about. Alright, it was me. Brilliant, wasn't it? Did you play with it a bit? Lose a finger or an eye, I hope? He chortles merrily. Clever, but I opened and read the thing just the same. The earlier incarnation looks horrified. No, no, no! Impossible! No one reads the language it is written in. I slew the one man who understood it after he taught me. Dead language, dead linguist, a match made in death's halls. How'd you make this trap? Can't tell you that. It'll never be replicated. The magics used in its creation were lost, even to me. Clever it is, though. One experience hidden beneath the other, so that no flesh but my own would set it off. But if your flesh sets it off, wouldn't that mean I'm you? You've trapped yourself. I've trapped myself, don't you see? But that's not... You're one of the... I thought I put in safeguards. How could you? I be so foolish. He brings his hands together, biting his lower lip. How to get out? How? I've forgotten. Wait. I am the only one who can release you, and I will not, and that I will not do. If you are I, then you can release yourself. Try to release yourself by willing the trap to open. Oh, get wrecked myself. There's Quell. Let's talk to Quell. This older man is chewing on something, muttering softly to himself. After a moment, there is a crack as he crunches down on the object in his mouth, then swallows it. His bushy, brassy, white eyebrows furrow for a moment, rise, and then furrow again. Greetings. Ooh, sorry about that. Without so much as looking at you, the man reaches into his tunic, pulls out a puce-colored ball, regards it curiously for a moment, then pops it into his mouth. I said greetings. The man frowns and waves you away, then nods to himself thoughtfully as he savors the flavor of whatever he's put into his mouth. I've got some questions, dude. The man smirks, bites his thumb at you, then abruptly pauses. His cheeks swell, and with a violent gag, he spits up a large black fly which begins to buzz around the chamber. Minerosian candies be damned, he cries, shaking his fist at the insect. He whirls on you. What? What do you know of Ravel Puzzlewell? He pops a small red candy to his mouth. Do you always traipse about molesting puissant mages with your ignorant prattle? Babbling, blathering, chittering, chattering. The candy shoots from his mouth on chattering, flying in a high arc to land on the floor with a wet plip. He stares at it sadly. I'm sorry about your candy. It was so tasty, too, he mules. He suddenly looks up, snarling. Sorry, as you should be, you piking dung beetle. Mages deserve respect, and bashers like you should know their proper place. He begins to jump up and down. Proper place, proper place. Calm down, I'm to ask you a question. I care not, you yeasty, beef-witted pignut. His eyes bulge out. He jabs his finger at you. Now off with you! Off with you! You! And do not return without being prepared to show the proper respect. Come bearing tribute, a gift. He suddenly draws close and whispers from the side of his mouth. Candies or chocolate would be nice, but nothing common, mind you. Bring something exotic. Now be gone.
Updated my
I
journal.
think I know exactly what to bring you. Wait, let's see what's in here. Nothing. Alright, what's this? Base of an aquatic blue stone. It has been sculpted, so it appears to have melted into the pedestal it rests upon. A stream of perfect azure tears drip down the side, framing the inscription beneath the pedestal. Longing. Begin the sensation. As you place your hands upon the stone, its surface ripples beneath your touch. A chill washes over your arms, like plunging your hands into a mountain stream. Oh my god, I got the yawn so bad, dude. Close your eyes and submerge yourself in the experience. As you close your eyes, you blink and reopen them. Your eyes are brimming with tears, and you are overcome with a terrible sensation of drowning. As the sensation rolls through you, there is a stirring in your breast, a hunger, poisonous like a serpent, biting into your heart, until you feel as if your breast will explode. You want desperately to steady yourself, focus, but all that comes to your eyes are tears. Wipe away the tears. You raise your hand to wipe away your tears. Your hands are soft, delicate woman's hands. They brush the stray tears from your cheek, and you cup them in your hands, each of the tears like jewels shimmering in the lights. Turn to examine the lights. The lights are cast by candle globes that drift through your sanctuary. You have come to this place to gather your thoughts, to reflect on the past with an eye toward the future, to cleanse the mind before the coming journey. Yet you cannot concentrate. Your thoughts remain in the present, trapped there by the terrible feeling that writhes in your breast. What did he mean? Close your eyes and sigh. You close your eyes, but his words echo in your mind. 100, 1,000 times. Will he ever return? The sound is a whisper. It is a whisper, an echo. Only you. Only you. Yet you hesitated, and at the brink of time's door, and he must have thought you afraid to go, but you were not. You were afraid to stay, and the fear, the serpent writhes in your breast again, its fangs biting into your heart, filling it to bursting with its poison. The tears come again, running down your cheeks in streams, his words echoing. Only you. Your eyes snap open. It is his voice. You whirl and you gasp. He stands powerful in the shadows, and he strides into the light of the drifting candled globes. As you feel the serpent writhing and dying, he returned, his face stern, but somewhere in those features you can almost see his pleasure at seeing you. After all, he returned for you. Only you can help me, Dayanara. But it was wrong for me to ask you for your help. Oh God. You speak, Dayanara, yet you, it is you, gray-skinned like a statue striding from the light. Are you that scarred? Your body looks like it has been bathed in knife blades. The wounds, the tattoos, horrible. Yet you see through Dayanara's eyes, and she sees... How can she see you in such a way? She puts a cloak over your features. She sees you in such light, such terrible longing, light. For she, how can she feel such? Try to refocus, brace yourself, hold on to the experience. You feel your vision tearing, doubling until you are that man striding from the light. It is you, but not you. You feel yourself being torn. It is Dayanara's experience, but at the same time it is also yours. And you... What? I ask too much of you to accompany me, Dayanara. I have no right to place you in such danger for my sake. It is your words, but they are a surgeon's words, chosen with cold skill, without a trace of emotion. With every word you feel yourself sneering inside, knowing that the stricken girl will see next through her longing-stained eyes. And who are you, that person, that man, twisting her with your words, not knowing how powerful they are to her, like bolts from a ballista piercing her breast, her, yet she sees only relief at your return. How can she feel and not know you mean to... I have come to ask your forgiveness, Dayanara. I shall return to you as soon as I am able. Your vision tears again, doubling and bleeding, until you are facing yourself again, trying desperately to speak, to warn Dayanara that this is not a man, but a creature that kills for his own needs. He doesn't care about you, Dayanara. You are a tool to him, a tool he needs to... But Dayanara speaks, and you can't stop her. I would place myself in 1,000 dangers, embrace eternity for you, my love. I am not afraid. Listen to me. I will accompany you. Though the plains themselves should bar the way, you feel yourself shattering, relief and satisfaction. His satisfaction at her words, knowing she would say them, always knowing, and her admission of love is like the slamming of a portcullis across your heart. Trapped. She is yours, but you must be certain, so you drive the nail home. The way is dangerous. You will have to be strong, far stronger than you are now. Swimming through her mind, relief, the wave of relief, the end of longing. yet longing for him more at his words, not noticing his manipulations. All you need to be is strong, and his path shall be as one with yours. Your thoughts are like fires, for you can be strong, stronger than he knows. You know no fear. You would die for him. I can be strong, my love. I will. Her words slide off of him like water. The serpent in her breast, the one piercing her heart with its poison, has been replaced by this serpent in the flesh. She sees nothing of this, and his next words are planned carefully, so carefully. I can't say if we'll succeed, Dayanara, but I'll do my best to protect you. I will expect nothing less of the same from you. You may be required to make some sacrifices. At that final terrible word, you feel yourself being torn apart. He means her harm. He means you harm, for you are her, and she means to hurt her, or he means to hurt her. Yet you need her to be harmed, and you want to scream at her that she is in danger. Run, Dayanara, for his eyes unmake all things, and, of course, my love, life is sacrifice. This I have learned. You, she, her. You speak the words, and in it you feel yourself dying inside. You are a spectator, and you have watched a woman die. For the words are a death sentence, yet still she speaks unheeding, uncaring. I left a legacy in my father's keeping, my love. Ask for the 6th and 3rd, the K and the S. In it I bequeath everything to you. It's not much, but with it I left.
Updated my journal.
You, him, a wave of irritation washes over you. You clench your teeth to prevent the irritation from crossing your features. Must she always continue to prattle, even when you do not prompt her? Must she? But no. Keep the irritation inside. Only a trace slips out. Come now, I cannot die, Dayanara. There is no need for such foolishness. Her, you, she is overcome with fear that revolts you, and the fear wells up inside her. You as you watch him frown, and you hasten to correct him. He must know the reasons, and know the wisdom behind them, so he is impressed with your planning. Speak before he turns away. I know I often act foolishly, my love, but you said yourself that you can forget things if you are badly hurt. There are things in the legacy that could help you remember should you forget yourself.
Updated my journal.
You coldly regard her through your eyes, tracing your gaze along her furrowed brow, wrinkled with worry, desperation. She has acted as you expected, yet there is something in what she says. Perhaps. Yet I hope nothing in this legacy is of value. I do not want you to leave any things here in some safe that could be of some use on our journey. Her illusion is shattered just for a moment. You watch, silent, as the emotion falls to the ground, splintering like silvered glass. Of some use. Such a casual statement, yet even Dayanara sees, and you hope, just for a moment, you hope that she sees him for what he is. The serpent. The serpent. And your hope dies, as in Dayanara's eyes the emotion is rebuilt. The slivers being drawn from the ground, the illusion rebuilt, but the slight sliver of pain remains. He thinks you have done something foolish, yet you did it for him. You must make amends, but how? You must convince him the legacy is unimportant. But it isn't. It's everything. The legacy, my love, it just has a few things to help you remember. The scythe of words falls on Dayanara, so quick, so sharp, you cannot follow its arcing path. A legacy? The things you do, Dayanara, such romantic gestures. No matter. No, you, Dayanara, you have driven him away again, like you did the night before. You feel the serpent stirring again, reborn, curling around your heart. There is the softness of hisses, yet he does not hear. Would you wish to leave a legacy, my love? For yourself, or for anyone you would want to? It might help you remember if you left something for yourself, or for the ones you loved. The word scythe falls again, terrible and swift, yet this time the illusion holds, and the serpent is cloaked. The serpent is cunning, and it shall not reveal itself until it strikes. A legacy for myself? Not likely. The things I would leave for myself would not be safe in some advocate's office, Dayanara. But enough of this, I must leave. He is leaving, you must make him remain, and the experience swirls around you, terrible and spiraling toward the final scene. The question she wants to ask, don't ask it. Dayanara, don't ask it. Be silent. Be silent. My love, before you go. His anger, his irritation. What now, girl? What now, you mewling banshee? Before I go, it looks like I am in no danger of that. Come, Dayanara. Can't these questions wait for the morn? There is much. She is desperate, drowning. Say it, say it, say it, and you speak it. Do you want me to come with you, my love? The rush of emotion dies in your mind. This is the end. The words you are about to speak are true, but the truth is not the truth she sees. There are no lies, only cold calculations. Of course he wants you to come with him, Dayanara. You understand it clearly, too clearly. He has invested too much in the poor girl to let her go. Of course, Dayanara. I would not have asked you to come with me if I did not want your company. You know how I feel about you. There's a cold silence in his mind, then a hissing of a thought. A response sharp and deadly like a dagger blade. The lie comes swiftly, unburdened by emotion. I love you, Dayanara. And you want to scream as you feel the lie wash over her like a radiance, but it is a shadow of truth. A serpent's kiss, and he means you harm, and she can't see you want to call out, but she is crying with joy, even as cry with joy, with frustration, with joy but despair. Emotion washes over you like you are drowning, and you need to speak. You long to speak, but you cannot, and tear yourself away from the experience. Oh my god. And you scream as you tear your hands from the stone. Bloody tears rushing from your eyes, running in streams down your arms, your hands to coat the stone. Blood, her blood, and you can't warn her, and you can't stop crying. And suddenly, Fall from Grace is there. Her touch is gentle, like silk, and she brushes the tears from your eyes, even as you feel the screams welling up within you. She shushes you, cradling your face through the bloody tears. I can't bear it. I couldn't stop her. I wanted to, but I couldn't do anything. Fall from Grace looks into your eyes, and she nods sadly in understanding. And that is the nature of longing, the desire for that which you cannot change or possess. She studies you, withdrawing her hand, now soaked in your blood. Will you be all right? Yes, I just need a moment. Very well. Fall from Grace steps back. We will continue when you are ready. Try and collect your thoughts. As much as you want to hurl the memory of the experience from you, you hold it fast because you know it's important to remember it. It was you in that experience. It was Dayanara's experience. But because it was you, your memories flooded you, and you could feel both sides at once. Who were you? Who was that shade of you? Turn from the stone and leave. Yeah. Okay, now let's torture ourselves with this one. The sickly green stone is securely fastened to the pedestal it rests upon. The inscription beneath it reads, "The Messenger, begin the sensation." As you touch the stone, its green exterior sharpens, clashing, its brightness becoming more than you can bear, so much so you close your eyes to shut it out. Close your eyes, submerging into the experience. As you close your eyes, you feel the skin along your arms becoming numb, as if all sensation is being bled from them. Ooh, excuse me. Tired, so tired. You try to blink, yet the darkness remains. Your lids feel soft and sluggish, unresponsive. You are sitting on what feels to be a dirt floor, and around you is a smell of coppery blood and herbs. Why are you here? You came here to, what? Your memory fails you, but you feel a growing panic begin to well up in you. Try and get your bearings. Ah, awake now, are you? A questioning all done? The voice is an old woman's, thick and scratchy, as if it is trying to force its way past a thick layer of dust. Try as you might, you cannot open your eyes and see the woman, but you feel a shiver of fear. Something is wrong, terribly wrong. You try to respond, but all you can manage is a ragged croak. You can't feel your tongue and your eyes. What's wrong with your eyes? Listen. Now a see me you did, a spoke you did, and poorly. So the price you have you paid, The crone sounds amused, then her tone drops sharply. No more of your questions. Now you will listen, and you will remember my words, for a minding me ye shall live. She hisses. Nod if you hear me, or another bit shall I take. Nod. Remember me, traveler. Remember me to a stone, one of the pretty glimmers in your festive hall. Use it like a cup. Pour what you feel into it, and know this. Remember me to a man who wears a skin of scars and tattoos, who seeks memories, but has misplaced them. If smart he is, he will know the knowing of me. Tell him to find me, or if I am not to be found, tell him to come to the glimmering stone. We shall speak, my precious man and I. The woman pauses, then hisses again. Nod if you hear me, ragged thing. Nod. Ah, pretty polite to listen so long. When he comes to the Glimmerstone, tell the man to speak my name, and your pain shall not have been in vain. The crone's voice trails off, as if distracted. You try to speak again, but there's only a sick gurgling noise. What happened? Who is this person? Why are you? And you begin to feel yourself slip into unconsciousness. Revel? Revel, it is I.
Updated my journal.
There's a silence. Revel? Ah, my precious man, there is the slow shuffling of feet, and you feel a sharp pinprick in your left eye. You gasp, and suddenly, barely, you can see. With your one and only eye, let's see, you lie in a gray hut upon a dirty floor where blood, your bright blood, has seeped into the surrounding gray dust. Your arms are gone, your legs have been hacked off at the knees, yet you feel numb. And there is no pain, only fear. There is someone above you, someone looking down on you. Look up. It's Ravel, isn't it? I mean, it's got to be, because it seems like we're the only two in this whole thing. As you look up through your body, through your bloody, blurred vision, you see a horrid bluish-gray face, grinning with yellowed tusks. Ravel is pleased, a-wonderin' I was if this messenger would make it. For weak he was when his bits were placed on my plate. She holds up a talon in front of you, and impaled on the tip of it is an eyeball, the right one. Yet to the festive hall he returned, it seems, and our time too together has he shared, and now you come. Success. Revel, I have many questions for you. The crone shakes her head, your blurred vision seeing 3 images at once. Her grayish hair is like brambles, drifting down her shoulders. No, only time for answers does Revel have, and she has no time to waste with your guess questions. Know this, and in the knowing grow strong. You must find me, my precious man. But how? I do not know.
Updated my journal.
I am beyond knowing in a lady's place. Now, shh, and to listen to Ravel, for there is much you must do to find me. 3 things must you do. Find the door, know the key, then unlock the key. Door, key, unlock the key. Door? The door is not a finished thing, at least when I last gazed upon it. But in the passing of time, perhaps now well wrought it is. Go to the place of forges and steel. Perhaps there you will find the door that takes one to me. Oh boy. And that's actually probably where we're going to be heading next. What is the key you speak of? To know of a key, speak to one of the knowing ones. Many there are in the festive hall, many, yet only one there who knows the knowing of what the key is that you need. Loosen his tongue, and many secrets shall spill forth. Say unlock the key, what do you mean? Knowing the key is not enough, so Revel thinks. Knowing it and unlocking it, 2 tasks that must be joined. For at times a thing knows not its nature, but you are no stranger to that. Revel cackles, a long hideous cry that fills your ears with pain. How am I talking to you if this is someone else's experience? Of stones and experiences, and telling will Ravel do, but not the telling of how she speaks to you now. She speaks soothingly. Many are the branchings and twistings of Ravel, and many are her secrets. I need you, and I need you knowing of this. Bye? Return. I will give what help I can. Revel gives a final smile, a horrible yellow-fanged grin. A blackish tongue darts from her lips and lingers at the edge, teasing. But in the end, only the one question remains. What do you mean? Only one question, this, I ask. Revel's eyes blaze like fires, the red light turning her face blood red. What can change the nature of a man? At the question, you feel a tremor pass through like thunder, and you feel yourself burn. Let the experience go. Your vision clears until you are standing once again before the hideous green stone. It looks different than before, more horrid somehow. Ugh. Alright, so we gotta get a candy, and we gotta talk to somebody here. And it might be Quell. There it is.
All right.
We gotta go. Right in here. This is where we need to be. Yo, you had a chocolate thing that's all weird, and I want it. Fiend's Tongue, front of the store. Chocolate Quasit. You examine the twisted little imp-like creature, sculpted out of pure milk chocolate. It looks delicious, does it not? Imported from the lower plains. These are rare, you know, and quite prized by lovers of chocolate and confections. It's a real Quasit, a fiendish familiar, polymorphed into chocolate by powerful sorcery. It's only 199 coppers. I'll take it.
Done.
I also would like to speak to the Advocate again. Because she did tell us about another... Dianara told us about another thingy that we might be able to do something with.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, no. Yes, there's a sensory stone in the sensorium that contains a fragment of your daughter's experience. His eyes blaze with hope. There is? But in which one? You must tell me. It is one of the sensate sensory stones. If you are not a sensate, you could not gain access. I don't know if I'm going to go to the public ones, but we'll see. If you wanted, I could speak to someone. I'm certain they would make an exception in your case. Don't wish to break the sensei's laws. I could help you for the... No.
Updated my journal.
Yanos looks relieved. If you could, I would be most grateful. Let's see. I will go settle the matter shortly. Now, in the sensory stone, she left a legacy number for me. Ah, Yanis nods. It seems you spoke true. My daughter was known to you then. He sighs. Hold a moment, and I will see what was left to you. I will wait.
Updated my journal.
We gained a lot of items. All the articles are accounted for. Yanis is holding 3 scrolls in his hands. I had no idea she had established a legacy here. He is staring at the items, most hypnotized. Here you are, if I may. May I read them, sir? It is a private matter. As an advocate, you must understand this. Let me read them first, then I shall decide. Of course, Yanis seems broken, but please, I beg you, I have very little left to remember my daughter by. I promise you shall have a chance to look at them. For now, however, perhaps there is something else you can help me with. Alright, I will return after I've read them. I'm standing on a pile of stuff. Alrighty. Dianara's ring. Dianara's wedding ring? Oh boy. This ivory ring was part of Dianara's legacy. It radiates a slight glow, and though it is cold to the touch, the chill is strangely comforting. The ivory band stretches to fit the width of any finger. Among the many secrets of the Society of Sensation is the ability to shape a peculiar stone from Elysium, dubbed Soul Stone. While this stone was not as powerful as the sensory stones, the Soul Stone is said to carry an imprint of the Shaper's feelings. These rings are often used in sensate marriage ceremonies, each ring inscribed with the feelings of the other. This ring was obviously intended for you. Right. I have remove curse, don't I? We'll take care of that. All right. Heart Charms can go to you. Healing Scroll heals 33 hit points. This tissue-thin vellum scroll was part of Dianara's legacy. The scroll is neatly rolled up and wrapped with a red ribbon. When the ribbon is opened, the healing magic contained within the scroll is released. The scroll will heal even the most critical of wounds. It disintegrates into powder when used. Dianara's legacy. My love, if you are reading this, then the tragedy I have seen has come to pass. I have died, and you have remained to suffer the loss. Know this, my love. I know why you were forced to shield your feelings from me. You sought to protect me from the terrible burden you carry with you. The distance you kept between us was your way of protecting me, and the brief moments when we were alone and you let your feelings be known, that was when I knew you cared for me. Carry no regrets with you, carry no guilt, for I came with you on your haunted journey of my own accord, and no matter how death came for me, I know that you did everything in your power to save me. Our lives are intertwined, my love, and death shall not be a wall between us. For my sight has seen what is to come, only in staccato segments, but it is enough for me to know that we will be separated for a time, but we shall be reconciled again. Thus, do not see my death as a farewell, but only as an interval before we meet again. Carry my ring with you and these other pieces of me. And think of me, keep me in your mind and heart, and that will be the beacon that brings us together. Forever, Dianara. Alright, you can have them. Here's our legacy as I promised. Takes the scroll and studies it. There's a long silence, then he slowly looks up at you. You meant very much to my daughter. She was willing to give up her life for you. I believe that is the case.
My journal.
Yanis hands the scroll back to you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your kindness. It is the least I can do. Perhaps there is something else you can help me with. Yeah, I don't think there's... That's basically it, man.
Stand away from me, Mort.
Uh-oh.
I can't stand anywhere. It's this leg thing, you know?
Find a way, skull.
Please don't,
I'm gone.
don't get all fighty. Excuse me.
This thing will not burn.
I'm gone.
So... Shadow just randomly shows up and starts trying to kill me? Not a big fan of that. That's a little worrisome, you know what I'm saying? You.
All right.
There you are. Quell. Here, take this. Brought you some imported chocolate as a gift. Oh, his demeanor changes in an instant. Very kind of you, very gentlemanly. May I see? Show him the chocolate closet. He takes it from your hands. Oh, quite rare these are, and most delectable. He bites off a large piece and tucks what's left into his tunic. I have some questions for you. He frowns at you, licking the last of the chocolate off his fingers. Who told you to bother me with inane questions? He stares at you accusingly. Come now, what is it that you wish to bother me with? Or be gone. He fishes a malt ball from his sleeve and eats it. What do you know of Ravel Puzzle well? At the mention of her name, he swallows the candy he's sucking on, with a loud gulp, wincing in pain. What to tell? Why tell at all? Such things, such tales, are best left in dusty books, and in the attics of old men's minds. Evil, evil, such a name, and such dark tales swarm about it, like flies on a corpse. Just the same, I need you to tell me. He rolls his eyes, plopping another candy into his mouth. She's a night hag, my boy, who came to Sigil, all evil and cackles. She was alive with her shadow magic, ready to butt heads with the Lady of Pain. Barmy, barmy, barmy old hag. Only succeeded in getting herself mazed. She's likely dead now. How might I find her? Why would you ask such a thing? Are you mad? What could you possibly want with such an evil creature? Shows something about my past. Doubtful, she was mazed many centuries ago. Gone, penned in the dead book, she is. And even if she were some way, somehow, still clutching to life with her blackened, bloody talons, what could she possibly know about you? If she wasn't the spitting image of cackling evil, that is, and was even willing to help you. I'll just have to hope she's alive then. By Leish's 6 teats and her swollen tummy, what a flickering candle of hope hurled into the howling winds of pandemonium that is. Flicker, flicker, whoosh. Don't be any more fool than you need to be. I must still seek her out whether she's dead or alive. So if she's dead, as she most likely is, then what is your plan, may I ask? You have everything all figured out, do you? Quell is just blowing words out of his pits. Nonsense, nothing. What do you plan to do if she's in the dead book, eh? I don't know, I'll figure something out. What do you think I should do? First brilliant question you've asked. Me? I think you should give up this clueless idea of entering mazes and chattering with night hags, and lope back into whatever crypt you crawled out of. Makes far more sense than fishing for the lady's anger, it does. Can you tell me how to get to her maze? Lunatic! Madman! Alcove! Have you not listened to a word I've said? She's imprisoned in an interdimensional maze for trying to best the Lady of Pain. That means she's at least 10 times as barmy as you, and at least 100 times more powerful. She is also most likely dead. Dead, 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 thrice dead, and, if by some happenstance she isn't, she'll make you dead. I understand, but I really need your help. Can you tell me how to reach her, if not, or not? Quell goes quiet, chewing on his lip. After a moment, he fishes around in his tunic for a mint, then plops it into his mouth. You're serious. Serious now. Why so serious? So Bator bent on mule stubborn. He sighs. Well, born clueless, die clueless. Yes.
Journal.
All mazes have portals. This much I know to be true. A way in, a way out. This is how the lady fashions them. I do not know the portal, its location, or even its form, but I am told its key is a piece of ravel. A piece of ravel? But if ravel is mazed, then how am I supposed to... Then you'll have to make do. Find something that this ravel's taint is... Find something that has this ravel's taint in it. Mayhap. That is all I know. All. Bother me no more about it. If you want to go pestering someone about something like that, go to the brothel of slating intellectual lust. One of the ladies there is bound to have met someone or know something that'll help. Thank you.
Updated my journal.
Who are you? I am Quell. He holds up his hand imperiously, as if to stop you from introducing yourself. And don't bother to introduce yourself. You must be the most insolent, annoying pest this side of Sigil that I've heard so much about. A true pleasure to meet you, and thank the powers it couldn't have waited until you had curled up and died, thereby sparing me the pain of being forced to banter words with you. I would gladly trade my formidable sorcerer's powers for but a minor enchantment that would pierce your thick skull and introduce at least the idea of manners. Manners? What about the chocolate I brought you, dude? Could you teach me your sorcerer's things? Teach you? Are you even a mage? Yes, I am. Oh, what wonders the multiverse holds for Quell today. Come, let me see your spellbook. Let him have a look. He tears it from your grasp and glares at it furiously. What is this trash? I'll tell you. Dung, 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 dung. How do you even pluck the spells from these stained pages? Have you been using this book as a bar towel? So soaked with spirits, glue, and blood it is? Do you not care for your spellbook? How can I teach someone who does not respect the art? Why does its appearance matter? Your spellbook's appearance should reflect your respect for the power it holds. That trashy little book of yours is suitable for only the basest of words. True spells should be recorded in rare precious inks, on sheets of vellum, edged with gold leaf. Everything in its proper place, and not at all, or not at all. He begins to hop about madly. Proper place, proper place. I see. Can you teach me or not? He shuts his eyes and massages his temples for a moment. Finally, he speaks in a cold, level tone. It is obvious I can teach you nothing. I may, however, have some spells you might wish to purchase from me. Would you care to see them? Yes, I would. Oh, man. Power word blind? Dude. That sounds excellent. Wait, I have ball lightning? Hell yeah, dude. Alright, Sensate Man. We gotta go rest real quick. Oh wait, no, I don't need to ask you shit. What I need to do is go over this way.
Done.
Although, what was it? There was something about, like, people in the Sensorium, I think, that I did go talk to. And I don't know if it was the private Sensorium or if it was somewhere else. I'll have to look at my notes.
Done.
But I want to rest. Alright. Yay! And we'll keep that to sell it to somebody else. And now, let's get rid of this and put this on. Alright, y'all. I am tired. I think I'm going to go to bed. I hope you all enjoyed this little stream here. I'm going to be back tomorrow with... I think we're probably going to be doing Hollow Knight, unless I get... Well, I mean... I was going to say unless I get the itch to play Sekiro, but, like, I've had the itch to play that game ever since I got it. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll start in the Sekiro file. I don't know. But in any case, I will be back tomorrow with some more streaming around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I will catch you hopefully tomorrow and possibly next week for some more... Planescape Torment. But for now, have a good night, everybody. Praise the sun, and I will check you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.